I went in with call options, but I went in very nervous going into this evening because there was some uncertainty. We saw this potentially forming double top in the charts. Double tops are bearish, but they're not confirmed until the bottom of the channel gets broken through. It was an unconfirmed double top, but it was a concern that was sort of an ominous foreshadowing of something worse to happen. But we got what we were hoping for. We made some money on Nvidia. Really, all of the Magnificent Seven was doing extremely well. And we're going to break down. We're going to talk about the Magnificent Seven. We're going to talk about the Jackson Hole event this coming Friday. I'm going to give you guys some fresh technicals on Nvidia, some opinions as to where I think it's going to go. It's going to be a really good show. Let me just bring on the guys. And hey, Mo, why don't you start off by saying hi?
Hey everyone, it's great to be back. Josh, I want to thank you first. I love being back here with the Stock Squad, having all the guys back to discuss what's going on. Nvidia out there, I can't wait to share one of the big moves I made. I still don't know if I made money, but I tried something different with the family today. We were writing options. We weren't buying them. So we sold a call, sold a put. We're going to talk a little bit more about that soon. But man, it was a wild one so far.
Larry, let me get a reaction from you.
Hey man, listen. Josh, that I entered into a call option day before yesterday, and we got out yesterday. You know me, when it comes to earnings, I'm Mr. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Buy it on the rumor that something's going to happen, right? And sell it before the news happens. So that's what I did. We took our money, made us a 30% pop in a day. A lot of the followers have followed me on that play. Took our money and ran. I know there was a lot of sweating on this earnings.
Absolutely, Larry. I personally was sweating. Let me get Keenan's reaction. Keenan, what are your thoughts on Nvidia today?
So Nvidia running up like this is absolutely playing by the technicals. I'm telling you this time and time again. If you've seen my video, I want to say yesterday, even a month ago, I was telling you how with the hype around Nvidia, and Nvidia being a trade, so many people are getting into Nvidia and they don't understand how to play it. They're buying it at 400, and then you know what? It goes up to 470. They don't take profits. It falls all the way back to 405. They don't get back in. They buying high and they selling low. You got to make sure you pay attention to the charts, pay attention to the technicals, and then let the news catalyst take you to the promised land. I had made a video even yesterday, and like I said, even a month ago, and I was saying that Nvidia was very likely to hit between 485 and then 500, right? Those of you who seen that video, put a 1 in the chat. And I want to tell you what happened. It went up, hit about 483, right? Right near the target, came back down to about 450 something, and then shot up to 500. It hit both targets. And come on. And again, I tell you every day, I can't tell the future, but I can tell the charts. And I know where the psychological levels of resistance are likely to be as well, but it's just because we practice and we put the time in. So again, learn the charts and it will help you out tremendously on your entries and your exits. And that's one of the things that I often focus on my channel. Thanks for having me on, Josh.
I completely agree with you, Keenan. I want to thank Vader Stocks, the super chat, $50 from Vader Stocks. Josh, your TA was spot on this week. Least I can do. Thank you so much. Thank you for your generosity. It always really is very touching. It makes us feel...
Launch his own Josh.
Lobsters, as they say in the Moo chat, lobsters, we're stacking up lobsters next. So yeah, guys, but the big question that I want us to talk about and break down, I got it in writing today. Let me see if I can pull it up right after I launched today's show. Manny Vang 9792 said, "Thank you, sir. Great video. Do you think we're done correcting, or will it be worse in September?" Mo, I'm going to just lead off with you. What's your opinion on whether or not there's more correction coming in September?
Well, I had it, and we've been talking about this on the channel now for a while. We've been doing live streams. You and I done some. I know you and Larry, Keenan, I've been watching him. We've all been discussing what's going to happen here to finish the year. Where are we going to go? And that's the million-dollar question. My personal opinion was October, with the student loans coming back, and we get the announcement from the Fed in September. It gets priced in, and I think you start to see the data starting to go negative again. I've been watching as well, and you're having a little bit of a rebound, but I don't think it has the steam to get us to new highs. And so I'm afraid, unfortunately afraid, that you're going to see some pain out there in the economy, but not yet. Not yet. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. You had Nvidia lifting up the market. Should be a nice banner green day tomorrow until Jackson Hole. So for me, I think when we get into October, you'll see some changes, and of course into November, December, and we'll see, because even the Fed and their own tools are calling for a recession Q4. That's the scary part, Josh. They're calling for a slight recession. And now, as you look out, I should say by the end of June of next year, they said there's a 60% chance that we hit a recession. That's from the Fed. And I don't think they want to go until they have it. They want to see it before they really reduce what they're doing. But a lot of things happening out there.
That's excellent. Hey, all right, Larry, let me know your reaction. Here's the question. Let me just reframe it to you again. We came down pretty hard. All 30 days of the last month, the market's just been pulling back. The Fantastic 7, if you want to throw in Netflix, the Fantastic 8, all of them pulled back significantly, ranging between 6 to 30%. And now they're coming off their lows. We got a nice little pop. We got some nice candlestick patterns on Tesla. Nvidia's flying. Is this going to take us higher? Is the correction behind us? What are your thoughts on September? Could it get worse?
Yes, it can get worse. Yes, and the Magnificent Seven has done a pop, right? NVIDIA is actually good news for the Mag 7, especially if you're into AI plays, sound and APLD. I expect those to be up if the entire market is not down. I expect those to be up also on tomorrow. And so let's face it, AI has saved the stock market. That's a bold statement, but it really have. I believe that this month, I said it at the beginning of this month, we're going to have more red days than green days. I know there's only a few more days left in this month, but I short term still see a downtrend. If you notice, every single day the Dow is up and then it starts to trend down, with the exception of today. It starts to trend down midday. It's just like every day, right? And I just do believe that we have a little more pullback or correction to happen. Though NVIDIA, we could have a green day tomorrow, I don't think that was enough for the cool off. I'm expecting about 8%, maybe not 10, which is technically a real correction, but I'm expecting a little more cool off. But I expect if inflation is tamed and low unemployment remains low, right, and the housing market remains steady, I expect that we could end this year actually a little higher.
All right. Hey, now, Keenan, you trade the SPY quite often, and you teach people in your Patreon how to trade the SPY. Now, I'm just curious your thoughts about the SPY coming back. Tomorrow morning, what are your thoughts going in on SPY and really the market?
Gotcha. So again, like you said, tomorrow I'm going to be trading options on my live stream, but I'm going to show you the skills as to how to go about it so you don't lose your money. I just seen someone in the chat say, and again, there's no guarantees on the market, but the guarantee is you will lose if you have no standards and you have no laws and you have no preparation as to what you're doing. And what I want to say is this: the SPY has been coming down all 2022, some of 2023, but we had a little bit of a pop, right? But why? What is going on there? The common thread here is inflation. If your bills are through the roof in the last 3 years, right? YES in the chat. I want to know. I want to see you. I want to see whose bills, yes or no. Are your bills way up through the roof? I'm talking about your water bill. I'm talking about your gas bill. I'm talking about your rent. I'm talking about all of these things, right? Any kind of loan you may be trying to repay back, the bills is insane. So what's going on? The common thread, the market's coming down. Everything's going wrong over here. It looks like the powers that be are dropping the ball. They're making it so the middle class doesn't exist, right? They're making it so they want you to just think, okay, the rich, we got to tax all of the billionaires, and then this is gonna. It isn't working. None of that is working, right? They just inflating the market with everything that they do. So I'll get to it. The common thread here is inflation, and for about 12 months straight, inflation was allegedly, supposedly, hypothetically coming down, right? These are the numbers that they report. Now, whether or not you believe it, because there's reason not to believe it, that it's coming down. But you know what? Whether or not you believe it, the numbers are impacting the market. The numbers are impacting what the institutions do who own most of the market. So with that known, it was coming down about 12 straight months, and then there was 1 month. We just got that data recently, and inflation actually, whoop, the numbers popped back up a little higher. We went from 9 to 8 to 7, and then we got to 3. Are we getting to 2? Oh, no, we got to like 3.1, 3.2, 3.3. And they're saying the next one is likely to be about 3.8 or 3.7, which is an uptrend on inflation, and the market is reacting to it. So what you need to know is you need to go to Google, right? You're going to look up FOMC meeting and find out when that is. I'll tell you a shorthand right here. It's on the 19th and the 20th of this month. We're going to see if they're going to tell us things like inflation, or I'm sorry, September, not this month. It's the 23rd. The September 20th, 19th and 20th, that's when we're going to hear it. Whether they're going to keep in the, what is it, CPI data. Once we get that, we're going to say, okay, is the interest rates going to go up or stay higher? Because this is what everybody's anticipating. When interest rates are higher for longer, the bonds are higher for longer. Why is that important? I want you to really think about this. Whenever you hear CNBC or Yahoo Finance or whatever talking about the 10-year curve, they telling you all these bond things about bonds, 2-year, all of that, right? What are they talking about? Save money. Save money. If you have $1 trillion under your management and you want to get a certain return, you don't need to double your money. You got $1 trillion. You just need to make a few percent. You can go guarantee it by getting into a bond. So then they take their money out of the stock market. They go and get a positive return in a bear market because they got into bonds, and bonds don't drop in value because the government is going to pay you for loaning them money. The stocks drop, the bonds stay at a guaranteed percent. And guess what happens? More institutions pull out and they fly to safety, and it kills the market. So overall, long story short, if inflation stays the way that it is, they're going to keep these interest rates high. And then the SPY is going to do what? It's going to come on down. Come on. Just get to this. I want you to have a tool. I like to, when I make videos and everything like that, I want you to just have a tool that you can go and use. If you go to Moomoo, I've been talking about Moomoo for a lot. Josh been talking about Moomoo, Mo, Larry, all of us. They actually have something where you can go and check and look at the unusual options, right? Josh, I don't know if you'll be able to share my screen or not. I don't know if I'll be able to even show it.
Okay, just switch it to you, Keenan. Just switch it.
Okay.
To your screen. Can you do that?
I'll try to do that. I'm going to try to switch it to my screen. I want everybody to see this because this is actually something that I think is really worth looking at. So, all right, share screen system. Oh, it might make me do some, like, I don't know, resetting of something. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just talk about it verbally.
The unusual options were indicating today that the whales were betting up on the market. Most of them were green. And I showed it with like arrows in my video yesterday. And then guess what happens? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It doesn't work every single time. But when you see the institutions who have information that you don't have, betting that things are going to go up, family, look, we got the market and it's on fire today compared to the last week. Mm-hmm. So make sure you're paying attention to what the big dogs do, not just to what they say. That's all I got for you.
Perfect, Keenan. Thank you. Just like Keenan said, the markets are on fire. And guys, I'm going to just chime in on this question about whether things could get worse, because here's what we learned today. Nvidia is doing very, very well. We knew they were doing well, but now it wasn't buy the rumor, sell the news. It turned out to be buy the rumor and buy the news. Why? Because we have an AI revolution and we've got a head-to-head battle with AI and the recession, right? And this is going to heat up. And the bottom line is, because Nvidia is doing well, because the Magnificent Seven are doing well, because Tesla is doing well, the economy is still too hot, which means that we have not solved inflation, which means that the Fed is going to come out and he's going to damage this economy. People are expecting rate cuts in 2023, and I think that we are going to have more rate hikes as soon as we begin to find out that inflation is not coming down to that 2%. We're not where we need to be. That's the big concern. Now, we have a great announcement today, and I'm going to have Mo share that with you guys. I think you guys are going to love it. Right after that, I'm going to go and give you guys some specific technicals for NVIDIA on what to expect tomorrow. Mo, why don't you take it over and tell everybody what our big announcement is for today for the Stock Squad?
I know I've been teasing it over at our place. I know you've been talking about it. Folks out there, if you are ready to take it to the next level, if you are ready to talk to us, to just go with us on this journey to financial freedom, check it out. We now have set up a Patreon, but more importantly, a Discord where we can all come together right now and talk about what we're going to do. In other words, what we're going to do is we're going to bring a portfolio together of all four of us putting our absolute best plays together in one spot where we're all in there talking and we're all in there sharing, and we can help each other as well as all the community hopefully make a lot more money, because that's what it comes down to. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a central place where you have four people who want to help you with your financial journey come together and share that wisdom. The when you get to be my age, you hope you have some wisdom, but come together and just help everyone. So this is the first time we have ever announced it, so you can be one of the first, if not the first, to come over and join it. The link is right down below, first link underneath this video. It says the Patreon Stock Squad. Come on over. We'd love to have your support. All of us will be in there, and once you get into the Patreon, make sure you connect to the Discord. It is absolutely incredible. We've been working on this for a very long time. The Discord is going to be absolutely one of the best financial places to go for education and just sharing the moves and everything else. I know I'll be in there as well, sharing some of the options I'm playing and writing, as well as some of the other stocks. And I know all the other guys will be sharing their wisdom as well.
So, Larry, any thoughts? Share some thoughts, Larry, on the Discord. What are your plans?
Man, I plan on helping people to make money like I do on the page. I plan on the four of us getting together and putting our best foot forward. We're going to have a little fun, and, we're going to, do some competitive things. But at the end of the day, we want to help everybody collectively make money. So that's what my plan is personally for the Discord.
I know that we are going to actually share some we're going to have a portfolio, a little bit of a competition. We're going to pick some stocks, and we're going to be sharing that. Mo, break that down just a little bit more.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to come in, and I think we discussed having, what was it? We were going to do, I don't remember. Help me out, Josh. Was it going to be like 5 stocks a piece from us, and we were going to trade? Correct. Or 3 or 4 or 5? Something like that. I think it was 5 stocks. We're going to have a portfolio basically of 20 different plays between all four of us. I know I'm going to be actively trading as well. These are not going to be your, hey, I'm buying and I'll hold them forever and ever. I might have 1 or 2 in there that we do that because it's making us money. But I want to come in and use this as a way to teach people how to trade some of the trades like I did today for Nvidia. I wrote 2 different options today, trying to pull them premiums in. We'll see if tomorrow they made me a lot. If I lost a little bit, we'll see. But these are the kind of things I want to bring to them. So we're going to have a channel dedicated to the portfolio. We're going to have a channel where you can see all the different trades, and we're going to have a general stock talk where you come in and everybody just shares their moves for the day, including us 4. It's just going to be a great place. So if you wanted to go to a place where we're all at one place. We had a lot of people ask us through the years working together, why don't you guys work together on a place? We did it. We finally came together and we were able to get this thing done. It's been in the works for a year, and here we are.
Well, guys, let us know if you like that. I'd love to see some hearts. I'd love to see some mitts. I'd love to see some coffee cups. I'd love to see a loaf of bread in the chat. Let me know. Give me some response. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that. So I wanted to discuss NVIDIA real quick. I want to give you guys some fresh technicals going into tomorrow. Now, here is what we're dealing with. I'm going to go through our lines of support. 480, which had previously been the all-time high, the local all-time high, and 3 times we came up against it, and it was resistance. And obviously today we shot right through it all the way up to 520. But I want you guys to immediately draw on your chart 480, because 480 is going to be a critical support. If we lose 480, if we come back, we want to... Go ahead.
Josh, could you unpin that comment so people could see? I got NVIDIA pulled up. Sorry,
right,
I had the other one.
Let me see here.
So people can kind of see it a little bit. I just pulled it, just a graph, not the charts. Just unpin it. There you go. Yep.
Give me 1 second. Let's get onto it. I lost my
We're
NVIDIA.
good now.
1 second, guys.
Okay. Well, I'll talk.
All right, let me
know when you're
just
ready.
get these technicals done here, Larry. Okay, so here's what you guys need to understand. 480 needs to become support moving forward. It previously had been resistance, and now we want to see it become support. If we lose 480, then we're going to go right down to the next significant area of support, and I'm going to give it to you. You've got support at 440, 416, and basically at 403. But we're going to keep our eye on 480. If we lose 480, what it really tells us is that the upward momentum is behind us for now. Now, the other area that we came back to, we're sitting at 503.65. And you say, well, what's significant about this particular number? Why did we push up to 520 and pull back to 500? 500 is the top of the fib band that we have been in. So the day that we broke over 440, 440 became that was the bottom of the band, and that has operated as support numerous times. It used to be resistance all the way back in June 16th. It was resistance, but eventually we shot over it, and we entered up into the next layer of the fib band between 440 and 500. Okay, so when we came back from 520, we came back to the top of the band, which is 500. Now we're sitting at 504. We want to watch that break, because what we would like to see, if this is going to have a continuation and possibly go as high as 535, and that is what the majority, that's the consensus majority stock prediction on Wall Street. There are 50 analysts who cover Nvidia, and there's the expectation that it could hit 535. But to believe that that's possible, we do not want to get a close on the daily candlestick chart beneath 500. We have to stay above it. If we lose 500, then we'd want to see a bounce at 480. If we lose 480, then it's 440. I wanted you guys to have that in mind. All right, let me go back to. All right, so I wanted to discuss. I'm gonna shoot this back to Mo here in a minute. I'm going to set you guys up on this question, all right? Foot Locker, not doing well. Target, not doing well. We're seeing a lot of retailers getting crushed. I'm going to share my opinion on that, and I'm just going to open it up to the three of you guys to give some feedback. You know, it's been a little bit confusing why these aren't going well, but I saw it the other day that there has been estimated $500 billion lost through
Theft.
smash and grab theft. Yeah. Okay, so brick and mortar is having a major problem. It's not how they're managing the books. It's not how they're managing debt. That's really the tradition. Those are some of the traditional concerns of Wall Street right now. The inventory is going straight out the door, and so even if you're a great retailer under great management, can any of us be investing in a brick and mortar store right now with what we're seeing in the world? Mo, give me your thoughts and reaction on that.
Man, I'll tell you what, you just kind of hit it. The future is going to be that you order everything online through your phone. Everybody knows what's going on. They deliver it, and that's how it's going to be. Like, you want your groceries, they got to be delivered, because they can't afford to have the smash and grab. Like you said, I've been reading it. Some of these major cities have one major grocery store left, but they've been stealing so much. I think it was like 10% of the food going out is not paid for, and that they're probably going to have to close down. It would be the last major food store for this massive metropolitan area. And it starts to scare me. I talk about the people are hurting. The people need help. And this is the last step, because they can't afford this inflation. They can't afford the low wages. They need help. What I see, and I know what you're asking, is it going to be the end of the brick and mortar? Well, of course, in certain areas, it already is. We see places where there hardly are any brick and mortar stores. And if they are, they got everything with lock and key, and people are coming in with blow torches and trying to get through it that way. It's scary stuff. And so I don't know what the answer is, but I can tell you this. If you kind of look out and see this as a major problem that doesn't go away, what you're going to see is no brick and mortars. You'll see a lot of different places where you can order your food online, or food, I always say food, but goods and services, and they'll drive it right up there, and then they'll hand it off to you that way. And so I could see that being the future, where if you want something, you got to order it. And I don't know how that works, because then all of a sudden it goes from smash and grabs in brick and mortars to maybe running around stealing packages everywhere else, or food being delivered. I just don't know what the answer is, Josh, but it's hurting these companies. And some companies, it's enough to maybe even push them under. So it's scary stuff.
Larry, let me get your reaction on this as well.
Well, there it is right there. Retail theft costs U.S. merchants like Walmart and Target $100 billion. Billion dollars.
Yeah, that's
right?
unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. So these retailers are losing double digits. Like Mo said, you're going to see them online. The problem is with that, Mo, is a lot of that stolen merchandise is already online. That's what's being sold online. And so you're right. So it's going to cause these brick and mortars to just close their doors, cut their salaries and just go online. And it's hurting our economy, because just you and I shopping everything online. Now you have all this empty real estate. And what problem are we having right now in New York? They're trying to turn commercial real estate into housing. So it's a collapse. It's a house of cards. It's not good. And it's very organized. So you see these kids, and you know what? I don't know if you saw the Saturday Night Live skit. Thank God his hand is white. But anyway, it's a joke with people. I don't know if you saw that skit.
I did.
Those of you that saw the skit, you get it. It's funny. So, but it's a serious situation. It's a serious situation.
I know you're talking. Just not to interrupt, Larry, but if they don't know, they got to see it, because I remember that skit. I was laughing. They were geniuses over there. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But it's a major problem that's costing us all. And on top of that, not to get political, these big cities, including my beloved Chicago, are soft on crime. And there's a reason. We're not going to get into that. But it's very organized. That's all I'm going to say. And it's costing.
All right. Hey, well, I'm going to just give a small speculation, then I'm going to turn it over to Keenan. But, what I really foresee is this push towards smart cities. These are where commerce is controlled, where you get everything delivered to you. But the problem is that there are a lot of people that are going to lose access to goods, services. There's a massive change. Keenan, I just want to get your reaction on whether we should be investing in any of these brick and mortar stores right now. Do they have a chance in the next 5 years?
I think there might be a small resurgence short term, but overall, whatever can make business more efficient, people will go with that. For example, we've all seen the push against, oh man, all of the people running the cashiers, the cash registers, they're losing their jobs, right? Cash register workers are losing their jobs, cashiers. And now look at it. There was so much of a pushback, but now there's you go to Walmart, you go to Target, there's 2 people running 10 different machines instead of 10 people running one each. Whatever makes business more efficient, guess what? The big companies are going to go with that. So in terms of robo-taxis, no more taxi drivers, just one taxi driver basically bought 5 different cars, and now they're all going and driving you around automatically. Automation is really the way of the future, family. So if you could see yourself getting invested in anything, you want to get more to the future than being stuck in the past. Now, there are some good things about brick and mortar things like the past. Like, for example, listen, real estate is up through the roof, right? Let's think about this. And I was talking to someone about this earlier. Who is losing big in inflation? Obviously, all of us are paying more for milk and eggs and rent and things like that. But you know what? That means someone's selling eggs. Someone is selling, or even their home, they're renting it out. People are getting paid more. The equity is up. So there's winners and losers with inflation. Everybody loses when you consume. But the investors are the ones who really, really win. Now, my people who are in the chat, if you own a home, could you put a house emoji in the chat so we know that your equity is up? And I want everybody in the chat who doesn't currently own a home, and I feel so sorry for you for the economic times that we have, that the powers that be have forced upon you, because they made it impossible to get a home now, right? For the average person. But all of my people with homes so far, the equity is through the roof. I'm talking about people's net worth went up 100K. because they just owned a home for the last 4 years. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like
Yeah.
a chess move. It was just, hey, yeah, I want to buy a house, and then boom, inflation is killing everybody. But people who own things, their numbers are up. So when you go and you want to, let's say you work in a cashier job and they're destroying that, or let's say you're working as a trucker and they're trying to automate it, we still need people for these jobs. You understand what I'm saying? But the owners of the companies will always be the ones who really win long term, and it'll be the consumers who always lose. So always look forward. Somebody just said they got $200,000 in equity in their house. Family, come on now. But again, make sure that you are an investor into these things and not just so resistant to it. You understand what I'm saying? Because Target and Walmart, they're gonna win. It's the way that it goes, whether they got people working there or whether they got automation. So again, keep your eye out on these brick and mortar stores and how they just shutting down. And honestly, I'm even surprised that we even talking about it, to be honest, because it seems like such a, not a dead thing, but almost, especially with the snatch and grabs going on. These companies are tired of it.
I just want to thank Gene Thornton for the super chat. Thank you very much for your generosity. And I got another question here. Is this new Patreon going to include buys and sells? Mo, could you chime in on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I know I'm going to be sharing some of mine. I know everybody here. Keenan, you know what? I'll let Keenan jump in a little bit because I know he hasn't had a chance to speak about what he wants to bring to the table. But absolutely, it's going to include some buys and sells. Keenan, what do you think we can bring to the table for the family?
So everybody who's in the Discord with me, and you see me like doing a live trades and everything like that, and I show you my buys and my sells, and I show you the time stamps on the buys and the sells.
Yep.
Well, when you're in the Discord, this is what you're gonna get, right? There's more, but we'll just keep it brief and we'll keep it somewhat simple. You're gonna be able to talk to me, Larry, Josh, Mo, right? In the chats. We're gonna be in the chats. You're gonna be able to see what we buy, hold, and sell in our portfolios that we're going to make. Literally, we're going to start from scratch. When you get in there, and you're going to see, okay, wow, okay, so Keenan, these are the 5 stocks that he chose. These are the 5 stocks that Larry chose. I wonder why Mo picked that one. I'm going to at Mo and tag him and ask him. And then Mo can come down and say, oh, wow, this is actually what I did. So it makes it more personable rather than just watching a YouTube video from 2 days ago and wondering, man, did you let that go? Oh, how about I go and check and see for myself, did he sell it yet and at what price? So this is some of the benefits that you'll get when you join the Discord, and you're going to get all 4 of us. So that's a huge value proposition.
Mo,
okay, so
yeah, I'll jump in there.
Mo,
go ahead, Larry.
Before you jump in there, because we want to bring up, for those that are just joining, we want to reintroduce the Patreon. Anything that we say or discuss in the Patreon is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. All right? I got to do that. I got to put that in there. Now, Mo, for those that are just joining, could you explain what we're rolling out again?
Yeah, so for everybody that's just getting in here, good news, check it out. Put me on the screen there, Josh, and you'll see it. We got the new Stock Squad Patreon. It's a little blurry there, but no big deal. What we have is a private Discord for members, and this is where we're going to have a portfolio of roughly 20 stocks, give or take some. We're all going to try to throw in about 5 of our own personal best plays, and we're going to just have a good place to go where we can trade. I'm going to have some options in there and some other plays. It's just going to be a great place. So I personally, when I buy or sell a stock for the portfolio, and I'm going to share my receipts, not just put it in a spreadsheet. People don't understand. In my own personal one, I take a picture of the screenshot of the actual transaction on the platform, be it Moomoo, be it over any other one. And I put that picture on there so you can see exactly what I bought, how much I paid for it, everything. And so I know a lot of us we're going to be able to share these receipts with you. You're going to be able to talk to me then and say, hey, Mo, hey, Keenan, hey, Larry, hey, Josh, why did you do this? How long are you thinking? We can come on and tell you. This is going to be your chance to talk to us and ask the questions like Keenan said, not from a video 2 days ago, but hey, we just put it out. You go in and you say, hey, what were you thinking here? And we can answer. That's the beauty of this. This is going to be a place for regular people out there, so you don't have to go pay Wall Street. You don't have to go out there and give them $300 for an hour just to find out what's going on. You can support us. We'll bring the research, our best research, and we'd greatly appreciate it. It doesn't mean you don't get it on our channels. I know some people are like, well, I don't want to go over and pay. For those who can't afford it, I get it. That's why we bring it to you live. That's why we do these live streams. That's why we have our videos. We try to continue to bring it to you on our channels as well. But this is for those who would like to support us. This is for those who want the information absolutely up to the minute. That's what we are trying to do. So for those who have been asking for it, having us all four in one place, we were finally able to pull it together, and I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. It just started at the beginning of this. So tomorrow is going to be a lively day in the Patreon and Discord. I would suggest coming over and checking it out.
Absolutely. There is I have so many stocks that I would love to cover for everybody, and I would love to provide technicals for. And there's going to be more opportunity for me to do that in the Discord. And I'm actually going to do some pop-up lives just in the Discord. Me and Keenan have talked, me and Larry have talked, me and Mo have talked, where we're going to actually, I'm going to walk people through step by step how I go through and chart a stock and get a setup where I get my entries and my exits and how exactly I approach it. I'm going to be doing that in the Discord as well. All right, I might
need to learn from you here, Josh.
We're going to do it.
Jump in and have Josh teach me a lesson.
We're going to do it. Okay, I wanted to go over something, guys, that I discussed on my page today. I gave these three rules, and I did an analysis of the Magnificent Seven, but I threw in Netflix. It's really the Magnificent Eight. And these were the basic rules of analysis that were used. They were 1, stocks bucking the trend, 2, stocks down the least, and 3, stocks first to move. Now, I'm not going to go through all that today, but I'm just going to go through a couple highlights of it, and I'm going to then lead to you, Larry, and get a reaction. So right off the bat, stocks bucking the trend, there were 3 in that category, and they were Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia. And what made them be stocks bucking the trend is they not only did they go higher than their 2022 local high, but they went higher than their 2021 all-time high. And so they have bucked the trend of all of 2021, and they bucked the trend of all of 2022. They did their own thing. They showed the market that they were elite stocks. Those 3 are 3 that emerged out of the Magnificent Eight. They're the only 3 that did that. Larry, I'm just curious, out of those 3, which is your favorite? Apple, Microsoft, or Nvidia?
You said Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So let's look at that. Your chats kind of linger. I don't know. All right, hold on.
I got rid of it
right there. Just keep that. All righty. Let me pull that over. There we go. All right. So as we could see, and let me put that down a little bit. Okay. There we go. And yeah. All right. So we got for the, let's go year to date. Let's look at that. All right. Look at, okay, which one is heated up so far? Nvidia, right?
Nvidia. Yep.
Nvidia is heated up so much. So with me, I'll say, okay, I thought my window was smaller. There we go. Sorry about that, good people. So Nvidia has run so much, and you've heard the term that trees don't grow, to the sky. Everything has a place where it just kind of hits the wall, right? Nvidia has run up so much compared to everything else that Nvidia was my top dog, right? But now I'm thinking that Microsoft has some catching up to do. Apple, I believe that Apple is not going to run as fast as Nvidia. I'm sorry. Let me just say it this way. Nvidia is at the top of its range, followed by Apple and then Microsoft. I believe that Microsoft has more room to run in this cycle. I'll leave it there.
Excellent. Okay, well, so the 3 that fit the best category for stocks bucking the trend, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. Nvidia is actually moved the highest we saw from what Larry showed us. Now the next one is stocks down the least. Okay, now this is going to surprise you guys. Mo, I'm going to turn to you and get your reaction on this. Stocks down the least. So the number 1 and number 2 stock that pulled back the least in this recent correction, assuming that they don't continue to correct, but they actually popped up, so we could say that that's somewhat safe, was actually out of the Magnificent Eight, Google and Amazon. Google only pulled back a measly 5.27%, and Amazon, let me see what their number was. Amazon pulled back 8.69%, compared to Tesla, the number one pullback dog, at near 30%. Mo, what do you think about that rule of thumb? Stocks that pull back the least, Amazon.
I'm going to put it bluntly. You named, NVIDIA is absolutely one of my favorite stocks. It's been. But now, I got to tell you, I love Google. I think Google is, Alphabet is one of my favorite stocks out there with that. And I think it's going to surprise a lot of people. I know Amazon, you just talked about people buying things online. Where are they going to go? Where do you go first when you need to? Yeah. Yep. Where do you need to go the first time you need anything? And Amazon gets it to you like this. In a lot of big cities, they're doing it in under 24 hours. I like where Amazon is going. I don't even think there's anyone who's going to be able to keep up with them. And they already have the distribution center. I think the future is bright for Amazon, and I love the AI. I think it's a quiet sleeper. I like what you said about it dropped a little bit, not a lot like everything else. And when it runs, it's going to run more than everything else. So I like Google right now is the quiet sleeper for making mad cash. I'm definitely waiting for a little bit of a pullback. I think Uncle Larry mentioned it earlier in the episode that we have a chance to see that before the end of the year. I agree with him 100%. And I think during that pullback, I'm going to be loading up on key stocks. You name one that's in my absolute buy category. And that's, that's how I feel about that. I think there's a lot of opportunity with Google and Amazon.
Yeah, so I just want to, people that have followed me, I'm going to give you two thoughts on Google and Amazon. Google, I think, has the opportunity to deliver AI to the masses faster than any other company in everyday practical hands-on applications. They're the world's number one search engine, and they're going to be the ones who are most likely going to introduce mom and pa to AI. And so right now, they pulled back very little, only 5%. Apple pulled back, so basically it was Google the least, Amazon next, Apple in third place. So it's in a pretty good ranking. Then you've got Amazon, just like Mo said. This is, brick and mortar is under full attack. I'm going to throw this comment out there that I did a video talking about how the police force has literally tripled in the country since the 1970s. So we do not have a shortage of money. There's not been a shortage of spending. There isn't a shortage of police officers out and put into the force. That isn't the problem. It's above them. It's the political. Don't, love on your police officers. They're not the ones making the rules. They're not the ones giving the orders. Directly above them, we have a ruling class of politicians who have largely told them to stand down. You've got prosecuting attorneys that have said, you know what, under $1,000, let them have it. You've got corporations that are backing that up by saying to their employees, if you stop them, you will be fired. So we're not getting political. What it tells us, we're here to make money, and I assure you that is the reason why I'm driving this point. Amazon has a big opportunity because of what we're seeing with the brick and mortar stores. Now, I'm going to lay out the third rule for analyzing a correction, and this one is going to be interesting, and I'm going to set Keenan up to give thoughts on that, and that's stocks first to move. Now, out of all of them, the first two movers that we saw was Tesla and Nvidia. So Tesla, a little bit of an underdog. They had pulled back 30%, but Tesla and Nvidia, before this market began to move up, they skyrocketed up above 6% just yesterday. They were the first to move. Keenan, I'm curious of your thoughts. What does that say to us about Tesla and Nvidia?
So what it says to me about Tesla, first of all, is I remember not too long ago, Tesla hit like maybe $95 or $100, and people were telling me that they wanted to buy it low. But they wouldn't buy it. They wouldn't buy it. But then it got up to almost 300, and they're like, oh, yeah, I want to buy it. When things come down, I tell myself all the time when they're great companies, why do stocks fall? They fall so I can buy it low. That's why it's falling. Not all. Some stocks fall so they could go out of business, right? not every company is Tesla. Not every company is Apple. Not every company is Nvidia. One thing that I want you to understand about Nvidia is Nvidia at these current prices, after you see it go to the moon, after you see it run up, it is a trade, in my personal opinion. I've been saying this. I've been running the technicals on Nvidia for months and months and months, and I'm not perfect, but I've been hitting a nail on the head with this, and it's recorded. And what I've been saying is, if it ran up, try to play it down. If it's going down, try to play it up. And I just been looking at the charts and just hitting numbers. And even on this live stream, me talking about Nvidia, my subscribers went up. I'm looking at my channel like 300 during this live stream. So I want to say thanks everybody who joined. But again, why? Why are people joining the Patreon? Why are people watching the live streams? Why are people watching the videos? It's because people are tired of just hearing just the news on the stocks. They want to say, how can I make some money here, right? And this is what we are trying to do, because we all want to be better financially. We know that the consumers are getting smoked. So we want to become equity holders. We want to become stockholders. So when we look at Nvidia and you start to see the 100 million videos come out, that's going to come out after the fact, telling you, oh yeah, Nvidia is a great company. Nvidia is this and that. Remember, Nvidia is a great company. Tesla is a great company. Having a rental property and bringing in rental income, that's great. That's a great company. But guess what? You don't want to overpay. You never want to overpay just because it's a great company. Oh yeah, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a great crypto. But did that mean you wanted to pay 60K for it when now you could pay in the 20,000s? You always want to get a better deal. So don't be fooled after things run up and people tell you, yeah, let's buy it now. Because what you're doing, and I said this in a previous video, is you're just adding liquidity into the market. You're making an exit for someone who got in low when you buy it high. Because on every trade, there's two sides. There's a buyer and a seller. If you bought it low, that means somebody sold it to you too soon. If you sold it high, that means somebody bought it from you too late. You got to really think about what you're doing with these things. And Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, family, great companies, but that don't mean you need to overpay for them. So learn how to evaluate and do the technicals, but also the fundamental analysis.
Excellent, Keenan. All right, we're gonna cover one more subject going into the close here, and that's gonna be Bitcoin and crypto. I'm gonna do a little setup for that, and then we're gonna do a round of opinions. So we had a major flash down yesterday on Bitcoin, and it was after we had already pulled back. We basically had the news earlier in the week that SpaceX had unloaded, just under 400 million. We knew that Tesla had unloaded theirs the year before, and this caused about $1 billion to be lost out of the market cap of Bitcoin. It just disappeared in moments. And then there is the fear of Evergrande out in China. There is the fear that there's going to be a push to grab liquidity because of what's going on with Evergrande, and they're going to be pulling money out of risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto. And so I never found a specific reason why we flashed down yesterday, but I had predicted this earlier in this month. I had said to you guys that once we got through the month of July, that meant that we booked the high of 32,000 and that we were not going to be going higher. But here's what I want you guys to be aware of. Every single time the year before the halving event, which we know is upcoming in March or April of 2024, every single cycle in the past, in the August-September window, Bitcoin has had a rough day. It's had a parabolic, sort of flash sail down. And so this was absolutely expected. And now what we've seen, and this is where I wanted to go, is I want to talk a little bit about the miners. Now tomorrow I'm going to break this down in more in depth, and I'm going to give you guys support and resistance for the miners. But here's what I wanted to talk about. They've all come back to key levels of support. Bitcoin has had its flash correction down. If we can assume that that correction is behind us, and that we're not going to have more trouble in Bitcoin, it could mean that the miners are setting up for a big move up. Now, here's one of the questions that I'm going to ask Larry to address, and it's the idea of whether or not Bitcoin can disengage from its alignment with the NASDAQ. Bitcoin has a different narrative. We saw when the banks went into crisis, it caused Bitcoin to run up. Now, I do believe that we're going to have another bank crisis. I believe that the Fed is going to be hawkish. I believe the Fed's going to raise rates. I believe it's going to create a bank crisis. I believe it's going to create a credit crunch. And this could cause Bitcoin to separate from the herd, separate from its alignment with NASDAQ, because it really is different. It's been called digital gold, and people view it as as being less affected by inflation. And so, Larry, what are your thoughts on the miners after we had this flash down on Bitcoin?
I agree with you. I believe there will be a discoupling or decoupling, should I say, from the Nasdaq. It actually did that last year, last cycle, and Bitcoin doesn't perform well with high interest rates. That's it. But I do see a decoupling from the Nasdaq with Bitcoin. As a matter of fact, for those of you that watched my video, I talked about Shiba Inu. And I only talked about Shiba Inu because of what happened to Bitcoin. And I went back and I showed where 5 zeros, and I'm going to use Shiba Inu as an example. You can use whatever crypto you want. So remember, the first zero does not count. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, I says any range in 5 zeros and a 7 was a buy for me. Now, I bought some sheep. I'm not announcing every time, but I just made it clear that if you look on the charts and gold, now back here, it went down to 6s. But I believe in this trading range, and I know the question you asked me, but I'm just tying it all together. I'm sneaking a little sheep in there because I'm team Shiba Inu while Josh is team Doge. I'm going to smash him. But anyway, that's a whole nother battle. But Bitcoin right now, to me, in the 25.5 range, in anywhere close to 25, I'm buying more in that range right now. And yes, like you said, the halving is, end of March, early April-ish. And like you said, key levels for the miners, we're back down to key levels. There could be a run up, but yet again on the miners, Josh, there still could be a sell off. I still expect a run up and then a sell off leading into the halving when it comes to the miners before the halving. Now, of course, when the halving, that period, there's a 2-month period during the halving. I'm sorry, running up to the halving, where it is a sweet spot for accumulating the Bitcoin miners. That's the way I see it. All right, guys, excuse me for being so tongue twisted. I have a lot going on dealing with a family death. So if I appear a little disheveled, I am. So go ahead, Josh.
Well, okay, I'm just going to come to Keenan in just a minute, and then Mo, I'm going to have you wrap up and just review for everybody who's joined late what's going on with the Discord. So someone asked me about the AI stocks like SoundHound and APLD and C3. They do lag in Nvidia a little bit. Last time Nvidia had its earnings, we saw that they popped more the following day. So I do believe there's going to be some sympathy run up with those stocks that could carry through to tomorrow. Larry wants to chime in. Go ahead, Larry.
I literally covered that in today's video, and for the people that was following me, they know that I said exactly that. Sound and APLD would have a sympathy run up, and this is how I actually played the Nvidia earnings. So I played Nvidia earnings with Sound and APLD. So these are some more lessons for you guys to learn. You could play a stock by investing in sympathy stock. You don't have to go with that stock, right? So I sold my Nvidia before the news came out, but I played with APLD and Sound. Go ahead, Josh.
Well, yeah, I want to comment on what Larry said. If Nvidia was way expensive, man. I mean, the options were for one option, $1,000, $2,000. And if you didn't have that kind of money, but you wanted to play the Nvidia earnings, the AI stocks, some of the penny stocks were somewhat a reasonable alternative that you could have gotten in. And all of them have had some sympathy bump today. Larry, you're going to share some of those trades with the family when in the Discord.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be in, man. We want to have the best Discord out there. Period. Like we just want people to make money.
Absolutely. All right, Keenan. I wanted to get your thoughts. Just wrapping up on really any of your final thoughts. Would you go ahead?
Yeah. First of all, I want to say, Larry, I'm sorry to hear about your family. And every time we get on here and we talk about stocks and we talk about, crypto or even educating people, at the end of the day, family, make sure you love the people that love you and the people who are struggling right now in your family. We all got somebody who we might need to call to check on because you really never know. Recently, somebody in my hometown, he passed away. And, I seen him out at the movies. But I ain't really seen him since high school. He was like, kind of out of the way. So I didn't go out of my way to say, hey, like, holler him down. Hey man. So then and he passed away recently. And then it's just on my heart. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't go back. Because you really never know what's gonna happen to people. So I want to say, the stock stuff, the crypto stuff, all this stuff is important. But at the end of the day, too, make sure that you're just showing everybody who loves you and that need love from you how it's done. And just it don't take a second to just say, hey, call somebody, say, hey,
And
I hope
let's
you're
not
doing well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And let's not forget about Hawaii, good people. I actually bought this everybody always asks about this. I bought this in Lahaina. So I do this thing when I get down, to shake myself, I start helping other people and it makes me feel better. So like Keenan said, let's just love on one another. Love is kind, love is gentle, love is all of these things, okay?
Redline said, what happened to the Core 4? Man, the Core 4, that if you know about the Core 4, it means that you're OG. That's all that means.
OG.
Right? We're not dropping the Core
OG.
4. It's, the brand
That's good.
Stock Squad,
Hey, Josh.
you guys know it's the Core 4.
Oh, so
Yeah.
somebody said something funny in the comments too that I want to comment on.
Go ahead.
My guy Damon, shout out to you, big dog. And he said this because I made a video. I was talking about how if I see another video saying that Shiba Inu was going to $1, they have a 600, almost 600 trillion circulating supply. So that means that the
Right.
whole market cap will be about 600 trillion unless they burned them all, right? But they're not burning them all right now.
They're
They
not
said it's going to $1. It's going to $15. We're seeing all of the thumbnails, right? And I said, every time I see a thumbnail, I'm going to do a push-up. So they're getting on me because I didn't do the push-up. And it's been the thumbnails they've been rolling out. Shiba Inu going to $10. Oh man, I got to do so many push-ups. But a lot of the family said they're gonna do it with me, and we're gonna be on a health journey. And every time we see a clickbait, we just knocking them out. So shout out to you, family, again. I appreciate you for that comment.
I'll take some of them push-ups, Keon. Not Keon, Keenan.
Keenan,
I'll take some of those push-ups.
we got a question that says, Keenan, will you be live trading on this new Patreon or just on yours?
So now, what I want to do is, so you know how I trade the options. I'm gonna leave that on my Discord, like when I trade on my Tuesdays and my Thursdays when I'm doing my main trades, right? However, you will catch us live as well on the new Patreon together. So then this is one of the benefits that you're gonna get from going over there. So I'll see you over there.
Juhil Patel said, I missed Discord thing. Are you guys going to open a new Discord group channel or is it already there? I just missed it. Mo, would you respond?
Well, it's there, but let me start by saying, Larry, I want you to know from the Stockmo family, our thoughts and prayers are with you. I think about that. When I heard him come on today. Everything's Larry's going through. He puts up. He's here. He's putting up with a lot right now to be with us three crazy guys. But I think about all the work these guys around me do, Larry, Keenan, and Josh, and here we are. And he's putting the family first, which shows you what kind of guy Larry is. And it shows, and I always learn more as I work with these guys for years now. And it's just my hat's off to you, Larry. I know it's a tough time struggling, and to have you here to try to help everyone and just continuing to drive. And of course, bringing up the thoughts and prayers for those out in Hawaii. It's been rough. It's a rough time. So I just wanted to say thank you. Now, to focus back into where we are with the Patreon Discord. Yes, the link is right below the video here. If you look down, it'll say www.patreon.com / Stock Squad. You can just search Stock Squad over there or hit the link down below. And we're going to have a private Discord. It's already there. People are already in there. And it's going to be where we share our portfolio. We're going to make with all four of us, where we have 5 stocks apiece. And we're going to continue to trade. And we're going to do a lot of good things in there to try to help people overcome what we're seeing out there with poverty, and hopefully bring some financial awareness, some financial education. I plan on doing live streams with any of the members here, and hopefully bringing in guests to come in and do some live streams and bring their education in to see and just help everyone. And so I think you're going to find that you get a lot of value in coming over and supporting us. And we're going to do our best. If you can see this today, how we come to work every day and we try not to miss a beat and we try to put everyone first. There you go. That's what we're looking at. If there's any questions, by all means, just leave a question over there. You can come to any of our videos here and you will see it.
Hey, Larry, Coach Flo said, I will meet you guys one day. I thought you might throw out our plans here in the next couple days.
Well, for anyone that's going to I'm doing a 7-city tour. I feel crazy saying this. I'm doing a 7-city tour, and Josh and actually Keenan is going to meet me. So anyone that's doing in a couple of these stops next week, Keenan and I now Josh is joining us. We're going to be at InvestFest. So anyone that's coming to InvestFest, Friday is free day if you go to the convention center and just be at the booths. And so around 12 o'clock this Friday, we're going to be at a booth. I'll leave that information. If you come into the convention center, we will all be there together this Friday at noon in that city at InvestFest. All right. So we don't want you guys getting on planes, trains, and automobiles. It won't be any announcement. We won't be on stage with mics. Just want to come and love on you guys. Want to shake some hands and that type of deal.
All right. Hey, thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate all three of you guys. I think it was a great dialogue. My video tomorrow is going to be on a breakdown of the miners' support and resistance. Don't miss that. Click on the link, look at the details of the Discord. Someone asked if I was going to be doing a breakdown of my charting. Yes, I'm going to be doing that. I will go on. We've all committed to spending time there. It's going to be a very unique project, entirely different from anything else that we've done. We've thought about how could we create value with the four of us coming together. It's going to be very creative. I'm going to spend time in there. I'm going to spend time in there with these guys. You're going to get time with us that you're not going to get on YouTube because we just can't get it all fit into a daily video trying to cover the whole market in stocks. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up right there. As always, peace and blessings. Take care. See you later.
See you guys.